Does that take away from the mystery, David, of all this?
George, I have a very strong, long-standing spiritual orientation to life and to our relationship to the universe as a whole and to each other. As a rule, I avoid making comments on spiritual questions in order to not encumber the message that I've been asked to give with respect to human history, planetary history, and all of that. But I will just tell you, I have a personal, deep interest in the spiritual teachings, in the universal teachings that we inherited from antiquity, and that speak to what is not mythology. In other words, spiritual teachers emerged out of the rubble field of mythology over the centuries. Spiritual teachers emerged, and they delivered things to us that was not conditioned by myth. That's what I'm interested in. If you raise the question about spiritual teaching, well, I want to hear the spiritual teaching that isn't just mythology masquerading as the Word of God. And those very pure spiritual teachings exist. I almost never go beyond that observation in public presentations.
Okay, fair enough. How about you guys?
I agree with Dave. There is a spiritual aspect to the electric universe because we begin to see that the universe is a connected whole. And a lot of philosophers and physicists have echoed this sentiment as well, that the universe cannot operate unless there is a connection at a very deep level between all the matter, all the atoms in the universe. And the electric universe gives a simple possible answer to that idea, in that if the electric force and the gravitational force operate at near instantaneous speed across an entire galaxy, then in some sense all elements in that galaxy, including living creatures, are in contact with one another. The other aspect of this electrical connection is that there appear to be resonances that operate between similar objects or even life forms and biological molecules. So it gives another dimension to the idea of life itself, that it is not embodied entirely within the living creature, but that it is connected to, in some sense, to the intelligence of the universe. And this sort of invites all sorts of spiritual ideas about our connection with one another and also with the universe at large.
Wallace, what's your take on what they're doing to Florida?
I think that they're chasing mirage that they're in construction. The idea that a particle has yet to be discovered and that its mass is completely misguided. As I said, it clearly tells us that mass is a property of matter, normal matter, not something that has to be discovered in a particle. So that it's a complete waste of money, apart from the fact that perhaps in the future, when people look at this from the electric universe point of view, they may be able to learn some things about the structure of matter that we don't understand right now. So maybe all is not lost, but looking for a particle, a hypothetical particle, that actually the kind of treacle through which normal matter has to move, just seems to me to be at the height of folly.
The fact that we do live in an electric universe, what does that tell you? What does that mean to us?
It means that to us, as living beings, that there is another dimension. There is another communication level that biologists have not yet fathomed. Although some of them talk about, for instance, Richard Sheldrake, the biologist, talks about the morphic field and morphic resonance. Once again, this idea of resonance. The electric universe provides an underpinning idea which sort of puts the scientific flesh fresh on the bones of that morphic resonance notion. The cellular biologist Bruce Lipton, whom we met at one of our conferences, is also, I believe, on the right track when he points out that cells in the body have antennae, if you like, on the surface, on the cell wall, which not only communicate with chemical signals in the bloodstream and so on, but also communicate beyond the body. And this fits with this idea that the universe is in touch with itself, and through us is really like a sort of self-referential part of it. What we learn, the universe learns and is available then throughout the universe, it seems. And this gives some answer to the problem of how can life form. It can't just be a series of accidents. There's not enough time. Fred Hoyle said there's not
billions of years?
Or,
you don't understand how long a billion years is, you primitive monkey tree-hanging motherfucker!
There's an intelligence behind this, and there's a memory system which is available throughout the universe. Then it seems to me that life will try to exist once the conditions are right. And we find on the Earth, for instance, that we find bacteria living at the bottom of deep ocean trenches in volcanic plumes, which have their biology based on sulfur. So presumably somewhere else in the universe, the universe has learned how to generate life based on sulfur. Okay. So this is the kind of thing I see as being a part of the electric universe paradigm of the future. At present it's sketchy, but at least there is an idea which seems to hold it all together.
Of course it's sketchy! It's bullshit and you have no reason to say it!
That we don't understand, or matter that we don't understand.
Let's talk more about this when we come back. Plus, we'll take some phone calls on Coast to Coast AM.
Sign up now for Coast Zone, our free email newsletter. Get it today at coasttocoastam.com.
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What can I get for you?
I would just like to get 2 bean and cheese burritos, please.
2 bean and cheese burritos.
And that'll do it for me.
Okay. 324, please.
Thank you.
Computers, sports, or life in general. Order, sign up, and get relief. The first 100 orders will get a free upgrade to our deluxe system and free shipping. That's a savings of over 25%. Visit nopain2011.com to learn more. That's nopain2011.com. Or call 800-253-3744. That's 800-253-3744.
Elizabeth? Hey babe, I went by Jack in the Box actually. I'm in the drive-thru right now, and there's like 2 cars ahead of me, so I'm gonna be in there. Okay, but I'll call you when I get home. Didn't want you to worry, sorry. Okay, I'll call you in a minute, babe. Love you. Bye-bye.
While you cannot always predict when they will happen, you can and should be prepared. So, I'm someone number Doc for you. And I want you to be ready the next time disaster strikes. To learn more, please visit my emergency preparedness page on my website at www.asm.ca.gov/wilderness. Find out what you need to do before a disaster.
Live online at 1240KSMX.com. 1240KSMX Santa Maria, a service of El Dorado Broadcasters. AP Radio News. I'm Brian Thomas, with the chorus of critics getting ever bigger and ever louder.
IMF chief Dominic Strauss-Kahn finally threw in the towel late Wednesday, submitting his resignation to the board of the International Monetary Fund after being charged with sexually assaulting a maid at a fancy New York hotel. But AP Radio's Sophia Manos reports Strauss-Kahn continues to profess his innocence.
In his letter to the IMF board, Strauss-Kahn says he denies